This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstein Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 5, Episode 14, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on all social medias. And I'm Rick Snyder.
And I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things sports and Washington life as part of the mighty Hogstein Network on audio and, of course, on YouTube here on video. Please share, like, comment, all those things they tell you to do. It'd be great. So, wasn't a great first weekend for the Washington football team. Lost their quarterback after 20 minutes, lost the game being stupid, and nobody came to watch. So it was quite the weekend for him, man, I tell you. So Ryan Rivera talks to the media today. He doesn't always tell you the story about injuries because he didn't have to. But Ryan Fitzpatrick has a hip subluxation, which basically needs 2-3 months rest. I mean, I read that on WebMD. But it's not a surgical thing. You just have to rest it. And so Ron said, well, we're putting him on IR, which means at least 3 games. Yeah, okay. Well, 8 weeks is more than 3. I'll give you that. But Ryan Fitzpatrick's probably out for half a season. And quite frankly, if things go right, he never plays again. Right. Because Taylor now starts. You want Taylor to win the job. So I don't know, but $10 million for 20 minutes worth, that ain't bad.
Yeah, not for Ryan. It's pretty damn bad for the team. I mean, it was just I don't know, man. It was a tractor trailer just ran over everybody yesterday. I feel like between the Ryan Fitzpatrick injury, I mean, you know, the defense looked awful. There was no pass rush. Justin Herbert had all day. And I know that they worked on the 3-step drop and he got the ball out of his hands pretty quickly, but there was no pressure. 14 of 19 conversions on third down. I mean, what the hell happened to this quote unquote top 5, top 3 defense? I mean, you know, and look, Rick, I know everybody's going to say it. Oh, it's, you know, they don't do anything in training camp or in practice or you're a professional. This is your job. If I go on vacation for a week and I come back and I forget how to do everything, I'm fired. I don't get 2 or 3 weeks to figure it out. You are professional football players. Nothing has changed that much from last year. It's the same coaching staff. Yeah, sure, there's new people here and there, but they're professional football players. It's not rocket science. You know, the defense looked awful. I was totally surprised. The Chargers came out and just marched down the field on them in the first drive. Made them look like a JV team. It was awful.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I'm really discouraged about. One, Del Rio, sometimes he's forgotten more football than I know, but he's forgotten a lot of football too. You know, I didn't understand his game plan at all on this. You know, he didn't have Sweat and Young in that much together. Well, that's the whole point of this defense, have Sweat and Young all the time. The situationals. He didn't get any kind of pressure dialed up.
It's 3rd and 16 with the Chargers backed up to like the 5-10 yard line, and neither one of them were on the field.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday looked so familiar. Everything about it looked familiar. Practically, you're down early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a critical turnover that cost them. I mean, if Antonio Gibson doesn't fumble on the 3, they probably win that game.
Yeah.
We're talking a different thing. But this defense looked horrible. And, you know, they spent all these months congratulating themselves about how good they're going to be. And I think a critical error is Ron Rivera took that linebacker over a quarterback. I have said this before, and I'm being proven right. Jamin Davis did nothing yesterday. Now,
didn't hear his name once, but I tell you what, sure as heck heard a lot about Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know it's one game for Davis, but he's still looking like an innocent bystander standing there too much. Why? But you needed a quarterback or a left tackle, because if you had a left tackle yesterday, Fitzpatrick doesn't get a hit on line and get hurt.
Right.
You know, Leno gave up that sack on there. You could have gone for needs more, but he's like, I want that 85 Bears defense. I got to add another guy to make it perfect. No, man, you needed a quarterback in the draft this year. There were 5 of them. You didn't have to pay the big price for the 1, 2, 3, but at 10, you know, for Justin Fields, you know, or when the Patriots are picking by 30, you could have moved up there and got one of those. And they weren't going to the playoffs this year, probably, maybe. But your rookie would have had his experience and would be ready for that. Now you got a linebacker that I don't know what he's going to do for you. I think he'll be better, but I don't know if he'll be great. We'll see. And you have no quarterback again like this for the future. You burned a year basically doing this. Really upsetting how the strategies worked on this.
Yeah. And it's hindsight. I will say that. Obviously, look, we had the second overall pick last year. You had to take Chase Young. I get it. This team needed a franchise changing player. I mean, Chase is on all the national media for Washington football team. He is a guy that's going to get talked about on, ESPN and Fox and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, Justin Herbert was picked 6th. How nice would it have been to get a guy like Justin Herbert? I mean, the quarterbacks that have come out recently between Burrow, Herbert, and now look, Burrow was hurt last year. I get it, but he did play well when he was in there, and he played very well yesterday. I watched some of the Bengals game. Between Burrow, Jones, and Herbert, those 3 guys, I mean, they have just come out and they are just NFL ready from the start. And Herbert wasn't even supposed to play. We can think back to when Tyrod got his rib crushed into his lungs by the trainer. Herbert wasn't supposed to start. It was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor. But how nice would it have been to have that guy on our side, considering Chase Young didn't do anything yesterday, Rick? He did nothing. He got abused by that offensive tackle Slater, and this guy has been a thorn in his side since college, and he continues to be. Now, look, obviously, I'm not hating on Chase. I like what we've done with our defense. I'm glad we have a guy like Chase Young. I'm glad we don't have to play him 6 times or 2 times a year like was possible. But man, it would have been so nice to have a Herbert or a Mac Jones under center yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't regret the Chase Young pick because he's a generational type player, at least once in a decade. And I'll prove that. I was disappointed yesterday, but back in mini camp, I was like, "Where's Chase?" In the voluntary camps, I should say. Where's Chase? Oh, he's taking care of commercials and stuff. What? You don't make enough money here? Pay attention to this.
Your job, dude.
That's what Joe Theismann, I bet, would tell him.
And look, I'm not going to sit, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and second guess that pick. I mean, if he ends up to be Reggie White, I'll eat my words because he's going that direction. I mean, he's got a lot more upside than I'm giving him credit for, but it's just kind of buyer's remorse at this point, especially with Jamin Davis. And I remember somebody telling me over the years, give me somebody from a big school. Give me the Bamas, give me the Ohio States. I believe that was a guy by the name of Rick Snyder. Where did he go to college? Kentucky. He's not used to this competition, and he's not going to just slide in and be who did Rivera compare him to? Luke Kuechly. He's not going to be Luke Kuechly.
He's a nice player, but he ain't going
right. He's going to be a nice player, but he'll make a couple Pro Bowls, but he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
The play calling really mystified me a bit too, especially when Fitzpatrick was in. It was like, attack that defense. They weren't doing anything. You know what
the Fitzpatrick offense reminded me a lot of when Alex Smith was in there last year.
Yeah.
It was a lot of dump offs. It was a lot of short passes. It was a lot of sideline stuff. We know Fitz has a cannon. You need to let him release that. You've got guys on this team that are fast. You've got De'Ami Brown. You've got Terry McLaurin. We saw what Terry could do on that drive with Heineke because Heineke's got the arm. Well, Fitz has a comparable arm. I mean, he's 38 years old, but still, he can still push the ball down the field. He's not Alex Smith. And I don't understand Turner's play calling in the first half when Fitz was in there.
Yeah, it loosened up a lot when Heineke came in. Now, Heineke's got some agility, which is his asset, which is going to be good because his offensive line, Sheriff had 2 killer penalties. I think must have left him some in his locker or something.
That was a parting gift from Morgan Moses.
Oh man, that was brutal. Those 2 penalties, and the tackles. Cosme got overpowered more. Okay, it's his first day, and he played a good player.
Yeah, but he also had to go up against Joey Bosa.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember the Chargers team's a decent team.
Yeah,
they're going to be one to watch this year. So you didn't lose to an awful school. on there. But, Heineke's got some raw assets. And I've always said Heineke's a baller.
Mhm. He's a gamer.
He's a baller. And, when they have to play the Giants on Thursday night, well, Kirk Cousins couldn't win anything in the lights at night. This kid might. I don't think he's going to be a great passer. I think he can be a 15 to 20 range in the top one. So that's all they were asking Fitzpatrick to be 15 to 20.
Mhm.
I think Heineke can be. The players like him, but players like Winnie, they don't really care who it is. They like Fitzpatrick fine too. He was like almost their father's age. So, they'll shift over to him. And I just hope he stays healthy, because otherwise you got Kyle Allen up. And then they signed Kyle Schumer, who's Pat Schumer's son.
Who is?
A couple places.
Who's Pat Shermer?
Who?
Who is Pat Shermer?
Who was the Giants coach.
He's in Denver.
Yeah.
I believe he is the Denver defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Who did the Giants get whooped up on by yesterday?
Yeah.
Denver. Yeah. That's what we like to call a strategical signing that he'll never play. He's going to get some inside information. But I've already seen it. I even asked the question, do they pick up the phone and do they call Cam? Obviously now I wasn't suggesting it. I was more looking for people's input on this. It's an overwhelming no. They don't want Cam, because I'll be honest with you, Cam doesn't have an arm anymore. Cam's arm is gone, and he's not going to run because he's old. God, even RG3 said, hey, give me a call. No, dude, you stay in the booth. We don't want nothing to do with you anymore. Last time I saw you on the field in a Ravens uniform, you threw for 39 yards.
Oh, and put that clip up on Twitter where it was like a 70-yard run he had his rookie year.
Yeah, that was in 2012, before you had your leg snapped in half. No.
Really, Robert, you're really like trying to do something here on social media like this?
Look, you know what he's trying to do? When Jay Cutler was signed by Fox, he had a clause in his contract that if a team came him a call in and needed him to play quarterback, he could step away from his Fox deal. That's exactly what Robert's trying to do. He's trying to get out of his ESPN gig for a little bit and go catch some NFL paychecks. But it ain't happening, bro. Sorry. Your glory was 9 years ago. It was one season, and you're trashed. I'm sorry. Kyle and Mike Shanahan trashed your body. They broke you up, and you went to Cleveland and failed, and then you went to the Ravens and got cut, or didn't get re-signed. So it's over, bro. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people have this memory of Robert, but that's long ago.
Yeah. So in our final minute, they said 52,000 came to FedEx. I'd say I was at home because had been sick lately. I say it's more like low 40. Kind of disappointing for a season opener. There were a lot of Chargers fans there. So, it just showed a smaller Washington crowd. I know the pipe broke and did bathroom water.
Yeah, I was going to say 25 of them got wet and got moved to a suite. Believe it or not, though, watching it on TV, I did hear a lot of Heineke chants from the crowd. So, look, this is who most of the guys wanted, this is who most of the fans wanted, was Heineke after what he did in the playoff game. I know a lot of the fans wanted Heineke over Ryan, so it's his time to step up. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't talk about Aaron Rodgers next year, because what I saw yesterday, he looked like poop. I'm sorry, the next quarterback for this team is going to have to be made via trade or in the draft. And depending on his legal situation, you may need to go make that phone call for the boy down in Texas.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. So that's it for this issue of everything. I'm Rick Snyder.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.